So about a month ago, we finally got the long-awaited announcement of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. Now, we can finally see the Xenoverse series get its long-overdue visual and graphical overhaul, as well as remaking some of the customization systems. Stuff like finally being able to get transforming hair, Saiyan tails, and potentially even outfit swapping between lobbies and quests. This has caused many people to predict what kind of new costumes, cosmetics, and transformations they want to see in the game. And as eager as I am to talk about that kind of stuff, I want my first Xenoverse 3 prediction video to be a little more out there, as I believe there's a huge feature that was introduced in Xenoverse 2 that has basically remained unchanged throughout the years, but has massive potential to be a huge mechanic in Xenoverse 3, to the point that we've already seen some evidence of this in both trailers and even in-game. That long-lost feature being vehicles. Okay, listen, hear me out. Now, to understand the vehicle system, we gotta understand why they were implemented in Xenoverse 2 in the first place. So, in Xenoverse 1, we had the lobby known as Toki Toki City, which was basically just 3 corners of a map kind of squished together into a little hub world of sorts, where you were mainly only able to do story missions, go do quests, and buy items from the shop. However, in Xenoverse 2, they massively expanded on the lobby by giving us so many different areas to travel through. Between the Namekian area, the Mushroom District, the school, the area where you do your quest and missions, the Time Nest, the World Tournament stage, there was just plenty of areas you can explore in Kanton City compared to Xenoverse 1. Which means in this game they made you acquire a flying license, as flying around in Kanton City without a license is considered illegal, as stated by the intro of the game. So how is one to travel around this big lobby without the ability of flight? Well, my friend, that's when vehicles come in. Vehicles were made to give your character a consistent form of transportation that isn't flying or walking. So it was kind of like an in-between point. Now, the first vehicle you can acquire is vehicle capsule number 315, a vehicle you can acquire from Supreme Kai Time that has the Time Patrol and Capsule Corp branding on it. And this is basically your default vehicle you use throughout the game. Now, I'm not sure how many people know about this, but after you beat the game and you fly up to find this NPC named I forgot. He gives you vehicle capsule 340, which is modeled after the Flying Nimbus. This vehicle is far faster than 315 and also has really good control. See, the only problem with it is, well, you have your flying license, is practically worthless. And it isn't helped by the fact that the vehicles themselves just can't fly naturally. The first additional vehicle capsule you could get is vehicle capsule number 881, which is modeled off the Tao Pai Pai stick. You could get this from getting the pre-order bonus pack, which includes DBS Trunks and base Goku Black. This vehicle is by far the fastest one in the game, being able to shoot you off in one direction and just keep charging forward. However, when you try to turn on it, honestly, the best way I went about using it is just opening it, darting to a spot, turning it off, turning around, and then darting to another spot. That way you don't go slamming into everything trying to turn it. Now, the final vehicle to release in this game is vehicle capsule 318, the Saiyan Pod. Wait, I just got that. 318 is Saiyan Day, 318 vehicle capsule for Saiyan Pod. Ah, that's fun. This vehicle feels even faster to control than both the original and the Nimbus. Not as fast as the Tao Pai Pai stick, but in exchange you get far better control over your vehicle. So that's about it. Both the first and last vehicles ever added to this game were in this game's first year, which makes you think, why did they scrap this mechanic? Well, because you could fly, duh! Now, obviously, the vehicles always just existed as a stepping stone to flying, but they were a really cool cosmetic, so why were they abandoned in the first place? First off, probably to save on developing DLCs. Imagine if we got a different vehicle for every type of DLC, even though they would know maybe 2 or 3 people use it. The second reason I think why is because they did want to reuse that same accessory slot, but for other stuff, because afterwards we did get stuff like CC mascots and different types of auras you can use in the lobby. Lastly, I think it would just be difficult to add different vehicle types and find each ways to make them more unique from each other, as each of the 4 vehicles we already have control completely differently against each other. Now, here's why I think that this mechanic can come back with a vengeance in Xenoverse 3. So based on what we've seen from the marketing, this game will primarily take place in New West City. And as we can see, this is a city that is sprawling with all different types of cars and vehicles. We see a bunch here. Like, even when we first open in New West City, we see a ton of different vehicles surrounding the traffic areas. Even on the opening shot for the full trailer, we get to see a ton of air traffic flying around the city, and all different types of capsule style cars that we see in the show. During Brett's little run, we still see vehicles flying high and low, causing traffic. We even get a full shot of this android looking character driving for a few seconds, which is kind of a random shot to focus on for a Xenoverse 3 trailer, don't you think? Even in the first in-engine appearance with Brett and John, we get to see vehicles flying above them as they talk to each other. Even when we get to see the new look of West City, we get to see a bunch of different cars flying all over the city, and even a car flying right into our face. Yeah, thanks, Bulma!
How much signal I need to cut across 8 lane? None? I turn now. Good luck, everybody else!
Which gets me thinking, so far already we've seen different types of air vehicles, air taxis, and even air motorcycles. So maybe alongside flying around the city, we'll also have flying vehicles like Bulma's new air bike, or even remaking ones like the flying Nimbus and the Saiyan pod, or even giving me my beloved extreme gear. Another reason why I think they're gonna expand on the vehicle system is because we don't know exactly how vast Xenoverse 3 will be yet. Now, at the time I'm recording this, we haven't seen any information outside the stuff we've learned at Battle Hour, but Xenoverse 3 has had a massive focus on West City and the Saiyans. However, I think we're gonna be able to explore a lot more of the Dragon Ball world. If you remember how things were back in Dragon Ball Online, the point of that game was that it was a large MMO that allowed you to explore all the facets of the Dragon Ball world. And I'm thinking in order for Xenoverse 3 to take that kind of direction, we could add some cool vehicles that you can use alongside your flying abilities. Another thing that I think also supports this series is actually Dragon Ball The Breakers. Now that we know that Xenoverse 3 has been in development for so long, I'm starting to see that Breakers was kind of more of a midquel. A game that still used the traditional Xenoverse 2 engine, but probably let a couple of new things from Xenoverse 3 slip under the radar. Stuff like multiple accessory slots, and a lot more vehicles that you can use. Stuff like Bulma's bike, Jocko's spaceship, an actual working flying Nimbus, granted it's probably just the Powerpuff Pro animation, and even Krillin's little police bike. These are things that are just used for casual traversal in that game, but I think it would be really cool if you could add them as a cosmetic for Xenoverse 3. Again, I'm not asking for the vehicles to be like some big defining feature of that game, but I just want more cosmetic stuff that add a little more personality to all of our different characters. Imagine a Frieza race character pulling up on you with a Galactic Patrol spaceship, or even something like a Saiyan in a Frieza pod, a Namekian on a police hover bike. I don't know, the possibilities are endless. I think if they want to add some cool traversal elements to the game, they could do something really cool like making vehicles kind of like your personal time machine. Instead of being whisked away into old timelines via time scrolls, Bulma can maybe modify Capsule Corp vehicles to incorporate time travel elements that allow you to go back to the past. Kind of like giving everybody on the Saiyan Squad their own personal DeLorean. Because I'd imagine if Bulma had 200 years to improve her craft, she would definitely find a way to be able to minimize time machines. Or maybe even using it to travel to different areas of the map. And again, cosmetically, it would just look so cool. Now, some vehicles I would want to see personally is definitely stuff like Jocko's spaceship, Goku's motorcycles, Krillin's little air Paul Blart Mall Cop thing, Future Trunks' time machine, the Whis Cube, King Kai's car, and whatever other ideas they could think of. But I want to hear what you guys think. Am I coping massively? Yes. Okay, you didn't have to say it out loud, dickhead. Let me know in the comments. If you want to hear me yap about more Dragon Ball racing stuff, I did make this video last year that goes into my concept of what I think a Dragon Ball racing game would look like. So check that out if you want to see what kind of racers and characters I think will be added into a hypothetical game like that. Anyway, for now, the closest thing I'll get to my Dragon Ball racing game is this really cool Goku mod in Crossworlds that you've been seeing in the B-roll the whole time. Pretty cool mod. Like his outfit. Looks familiar.